Social media posts from Trump and then amplified by Musk were a mischaracterization of the country and its laws, and they were very much concerned about the damage these narratives were going to do, particularly, given what you heard from the South African Chamber of Commerce based in the United States. We are next door neighbors with Zimbabwe, and South Africa acutely understands what went wrong in Zimbabwe and would want to avoid a similar situation in South Africa. South Africa, he says, to this day is dealing with the fallout from the land grabs in Zimbabwe. So there is an acute understanding of not wanting to repeat a similar scenario in South Africa.
The implications thereof.
We don't want another country saying we are grabbing lands. It is unthinkable to have a narrative of rampant land grabs. It's a serious image question for us. He also explained in terms of the Expropriation Act that it has sufficient safeguards, including having the courts as final arbiters on disputes to that process. And then he talked a little bit about the broader relationship with the United States.
Hello everyone, welcome to Gaza with CD. So people, at the end of this video, I would like to ask a question to illegal foreigners, or maybe just foreigners as a whole, because I want to see something. Anyways, guys, so as you already know that we have, I don't know how to call these people, on the loose. Well, I think now I understand the people that have been warning of oligarchy in the United States. If you were wondering, what is an oligarchy? So an oligarchy basically, okay, let's study it this way. Every country in the world has its own political ideology, and then they also have their own economic ideologies. Now, in countries, political ideology can be democracy, autocracy, it could be totalitarian, it could be dictatorship, it could be one of those. And then comes oligarchy. Oligarchy basically is a small group of very rich people that runs a country. So basically they dismantle democracy and they dismantle anything that is going to give the people their will to be, the will to protest, the will to govern, the will to complain, etc. and so forth. If you listen to Donald Trump when he just a little after the elections, he said from day one he's going to be a dictator. Yeah, so much so that at some point after he was inaugurated that maybe he should go for third term. Now, this is unheard of in a democratic dispensation. Now, the maximum terms that you can serve in a democracy, it is 2 terms. Third term, you are no longer a democratic state. But now Donald Trump made a utterance that maybe he should go for third term. Now, let's also remember this is a man who is approaching 80s, or he's already in the 80s, which kind of like reminded me of African leaders who want to die on the presidential chair and still have done nothing for their people. Now, the United States of America is known to be the wealthiest country on earth. Not only the wealthiest country on earth, but also the most powerful. And of course, before some people come for me, I get it. I understand your emotions about the United States, but we must not run away from the fact that the United States does have nukes, and its codes are on Donald Trump's right hand chest. Is it the right chest of his body? And he could utilize them the moment he feels that the United States of America is highly threatened. So that's what makes him powerful. I know there are other countries as well with nukes. China does, Russia does, and even North Korea does. So I get it. Us South Africans, we gave up our nuke heads in 1990, if I stand corrected. Now, with the threat that Donald Trump posed on South Africa on Sunday, that he's going to take action. Now, you know when the United States says that they are going to take action, what they mean. Now, this question goes out to my foreign nationals that are in South Africa. I understand that most of you ran away from your countries because of the atrocities that your leaders are doing to y'all. And then what did you do? You packed up your bags and then you headed south for greener pastures. South, I'm talking South Africa. Now, Suppose Donald Trump does impose or he implements his action, and you know what that means. And let me just remind you, Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, the Gulf. Should I go on? Should I go on? Now, the question is, will you remain in South Africa and fight along with South Africans? That also includes losing and shedding your blood for this land. Or you are going to once again pack up and leave, leaving everything to South Africans on their own to deal with. But I can assure you, at some point, South Africa will rise like a phoenix and will rebuild South Africa. Let's see you return. Let's see you return. Now, the question is, will you remain with South Africans, a place that has given you hope, has given you a chance? You've built yourself a life and improved the lives of your families back home. Will you remain with us and fight with us is the question. I'll wait in the comment section. But I'm just letting you know that when America makes a threat, I think maybe if you know you are going to pack up and leave, this is the time. This is the time you packed up and go, because us, South Africa is the only home we have. If something like this had to happen to us, we have nowhere else to go. We will remain inside and do the best that we can to get back our country, our sovereignty, as well as our democracy. Not only that, but also rebuild our country. I think the people of Zimbabwe understand this more than any other foreign nationals that are in South Africa. I think you'll understand much, much better, because what is going on, or what could go on, is that the United States might slap us with sanctions that are going to cripple the economy of South Africa to that of Zimbabwe. So, Zimbabweans, will you remain? Nigerians, will you remain? Malawians, Zambians, Ethiopians, Somalis, Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, the lot of y'all, will you remain? Because if you are not, this is the time you packed up and left. Yeah, this is exactly what we've been telling you guys about for the longest time about the people of South Africa. We are resilient people. Yes, it will be painful, but you cannot unalive us all. So, what is your stance right now? What are you thinking about right now? Of leaving? Staying? What's it gonna be? But anyways, guys, as you know, now there are war of words between Pretoria and Washington, D.C. However, though, President Ramaphosa did not lay down and just thought, okay, that was just a tweet coming from Donald Trump. He is on the phone with relevant people and basically educating them about Expropriation Act. He's also educating them about the South African Constitution, as well as how the courts are the final arbiter as to whether this particular land that might get expropriated is justifiable or not. We're not just going to do land grabs like Zimbabwe did in 1999. Well, ours is a legal process, and if there is no justifiable means or justifiable reasons as to why this piece of land needs to be expropriated, then the court will say, no, this has no justification, and therefore the owner of the land or the owners of the land can continue owning the land. There's no land grabs since 1994, never have. The only land grabs that you will find in our history books will start all the way since 1652. All the way through Anglo-Boer War and all that stuff to 1913 and beyond. So that's the only thing that I want to know from my fellow Africans. Are you going to stay or go? If Donald Trump takes action against South Africa, that's what I'm interested to hear from you. Please don't leave the video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I'll see you later. Goodbye.